Jake, our NFL draft analyst. Big question here, right? Big time question. Looking back on last year's draft class, the 2020 NFL draft class versus this year's 2021 NFL draft class, which class is better? And specifically, let's talk about quarterbacks and receivers, right? I really just want to hammer down QBs and receivers. Both of them are loaded, right? These could potentially be two of the best wide receiver draft classes we've ever seen, right? We're scouting these guys. They are legit. And quarterbacks this year, we could have 5 in the first round. Jake, do you see the 2021 draft class making a push to be better than last year's?
It already is. Based on raw talent, based on the guys who last year had a lot of guys who start day one. And I think this year will too. But based on raw talent, this wide receiver class is skyrocketed over last year's, because I think if you rank the top 6 receivers from the last 2 draft classes, last year had 3 elite guys clear from the pack. This year also has 3. The top 3 are all from this year, in my opinion. Yeah, I would go Smith, Waddle, Chase, whichever order you want. I personally don't know which order I would pick. I still haven't finalized my top 3 yet. Waddle might be 1, Waddle might be 3, Chase might be 1, Chase might be 3. I don't know, but all 3 of them are better than Judy, Ruggs, and Lamb, respectively. Going to quarterbacks.
Whoa. Daniel's a big Lamb guy. Well, he's not better than. They're not better than. Are they really better than Justin Jefferson? I guess as college
prospects. It's tough, right?
As prospects. Well,
yeah.
Okay, and see, like Jake, just to rebuttal, I'll let you finish. But I think CeeDee Lamb is gonna be a #1 receiver, and he already is. But I think him and Justin Jefferson, those two, it's gonna be tough. I think one thing that people aren't realizing is how good Jalen Waddle is. Jalen Waddle at the beginning of the season, before he broke his leg or broke his ankle, he was putting up numbers, more yards than Devontae Smith. His yards per catch, he had 25 yards per catch. Devontae Smith had 15, right? They're completely different games, but Jalen Waddle, if people thought Henry Ruggs was good last year, Jalen Waddle is going to be so much better. Continue, Jake.
So going to quarterbacks, and depth-wise, I love the depth last year. The depth is very similar this year. I would probably, I don't know. It's very close. But top of the line receivers, I would give the edge to this year. Also, a lot of high upside guys. Rondale Moore could be wide receiver 8, and he might be a future wide receiver 1 if he stays healthy. So he's got to look out for. Rashad Bateman's the 4th, or probably I have him as wide receiver 5 because of a guy named Kadarius Toney, and Bateman might end up as the best wide receiver in the draft outside of Chase or Smith. I don't know. There's so many guys who are clumped up together. There's a clear tier 1, and then when you get to that tier 2 is when it really starts to get. I'll say the word is when it starts to get sexy. But going to the quarterbacks, obviously Trevor, Justin Fields. Now Burrow was really weird as a prospect because he only had 1 year. Trevor had 3. Fields had 2, and yeah, top of the line guys. This quarterback class is deeper than last year's class. Jake Fromm, Jacob Eason weren't really great prospects. I still think Tua is going to be really, really good. He was quarterback 3 for me last year. I would say the quarterback class top of it last year was probably a little bit better, but when you get the Zach Wilsons, when you add the Mac Jones, when you factor in the upside of Trey Lance, when you realize that Kyle Trask might be okay, I don't think
I'm not a fan, but it doesn't matter. We both aren't fans. I have a bottom
but he's a lot better than quarterback 6 last year. Who was quarterback 6 last year?
Eason.
I think Eason's 5.
From?
I mean, Hurts. Yeah, it might have been Eason, depending where you had Hurts.
Yeah. I think, you're talking about, the biggest thing is, and this is something for those of you who are new to the show, make sure you guys subscribe. Make sure you guys follow us on all our social media platforms. We're talking NFL draft. We're going to have an NFL draft show. Follow us on our Instagram page. We just made a new page, TWSN Scout. Jake's going to post a lot on there. I'm going to post a lot. Our guy Sean is. But what we're trying to do is
this is the first I'm hearing of this.
So
this is news to me. This hypes me up. This is news to me.
And but the biggest thing that we're trying to do is inform you guys. And the reality is, like Jake was saying, This class has 6 guys. As much as I don't like Kyle Trask, if he gets in the right system, let's say with the Saints, give him a year, he could be a game managing starting quarterback. Like it's not completely out of the realm of possibility. And something else I want to talk about real quick, Tristan. I love Henry Ruggs, but why Gruden? Let me just explain something to you. Henry Ruggs may not be a number 1 wide receiver, but you know damn well he is an absolute weapon. Here's why. When he is on the field, you see that 4.2 speed. When he is on the field, you send him on a streak and you have to play a safety over top. It scares the living hell out of defensive coordinators. And him as a weapon, I'm not ready to give up on him. I see a lot of Raiders fans seeing CeeDee Lamb, seeing Justin Jefferson, and they're like, why didn't we get them? Henry Ruggs is a weapon for you. So the biggest thing is, like Jake, I know you say this a lot, or I'm pretty sure you say this, scout the traits. Don't scout the traits. And it's I don't know. I hear that a lot. I thought that was you. It's probably Sean, but scout the traits. And also a big thing is, where do these guys land? Like if Mac Jones lands with the Steelers, he has a much better chance of succeeding versus if he lands with the Jets. That's the biggest thing. It's all about the situation. But
yeah, I mean, as a Steelers fan, I don't know how I would feel about that. I really do not know how I feel if the Steelers drafted Mac Jones at 24. But I'll just give my 2 cents on which class is better. I do believe that this class is better. Main reason being depth, I think, and the top of the line is pretty comparable. But like when you factor in, a guy like Penei Sewell, who can be a generational tackle for a team, and also a guy like Kyle Pitts. Like there was not a Kyle Pitts-like prospect in last year's class at the tight end position.
Yeah.
I mean, and also just the depth at offensive line, specifically tackle, the corner. Like this is a very strong corner class as well. I think this QB class is better just simply because there's 4 to 5 guys. Could be like franchise quarterbacks versus really 3 guys last year. And even then, like Tua just has those injury problems. With the injury problems, I might trust Fields or even a guy like Zach Wilson because of his upside over a guy like Tua just because of those injury concerns. And I think Lawrence, like when you look at the top, I think Lawrence is the best out of those 2 quarterback class prospects. The wide receiver, I mean, yeah, it's kind of close, but I agree. Like Chase Smith and Waddle, those all 3 guys can all be elite in the NFL, depending obviously on which team they go. But those are 3 potential to be elite guys. And even guys like I see Rashad, like Bateman, you mentioned, and Tony, and even Terrace Marshall. Those guys can go late round 1, early round 2. That's insane value. I mean, if the Chiefs get Kadarius Toney, that would be just absolute. That would be a nightmare. Like that is a doomsday scenario for the NFL if Kadarius Toney dropped to the Kansas City Chiefs.
That should be illegal. Like that should be illegal.
Yeah. They need it. NFL needs Roger Goodell. If you're watching this, please just make a rule that Kadarius Toney cannot get to pick 31 because that would be awful for the rest of the NFL. But look, just to wrap it up, I mean, I think this class is just better, just depth. I mean, the guys you can get from the offensive line in the 2nd round is insane. I think the depth is better in the 2nd, 3rd, even 4th round. The value you can get on a day 2 and day 3. The 1st round's pretty comparable, but just that depth, it has to put this class above last.
Yeah, and just to kind of wrap this up, Aiden said predicting Henry Ruggs to the Raiders was too easy. Predicting Jamar Chase to the Bengals is too easy. I know my guy, Jake, he's ready to log off. He's ready to leave the room right now. We're not doing this right now, but if you guys are new, make sure you guys follow the TWSN Scout page on Instagram. All our scouting content's going to be on there. Breakdowns, all that good stuff. Jake will tell you why he doesn't think Chase is a good fit for the Bengals on there, I'm sure. But